an esteemed person. I have to say, it's quite a group. Dana is brand new from Australia. So Dana, yeah, there you go. Wave, please. And she's a friend of Lisa. Thank you, Lisa, for bringing her in. Another, not a victim, but another participant. and Bob Gilbo, I am honored. We are all, it's an honor to have him here. Bob has helped. He was one of the editors for Edwin Bryant's book on the Yoga Sutras. And is that correct, Bob? Mm-hmm. Yes.
Wow.
And he's, and you've done other editing as well. And he's been involved, Bob's practice is in the Iyengar method, but he teaches philosophy to all people, all studios, everywhere. A lot of Ashtanga people, right? And we just completed, Bob and I and another friend, Mary Riley, we just completed a weekend, 2 weekends ago, actually. I can't believe where the time went. And Bob gave us some fabulous, fabulous talks on Ganesha, because we just ended the time period of something called, would you please tell us what it is? I might butcher the word because I'm not sure. It's Ganesha Chaturthi?
Ganesh Chaturthi, yes, it's the annual 10-day festival celebrating the manifestation of the energy and the yoga of Ganesha in our time-space continuum as the elephant-headed deity. So yeah, it just ended yesterday.
Now you understand why I love Bob. Isn't he great? I mean, he just explains everything so beautifully. And so yesterday was the last day. And so each one of us, you know, if we wanted to, we all made our own rendition of Ganesha, and you're supposed to throw it in, you know, toss him, or lovingly toss Ganesha back into the waters so that he'll, with the hopes that, with prayers that he will return to us. And what I learned, interestingly, from Bob's talks was that Ganesha is not only the remover of obstacles, he's one of the makers of obstacles. You can't have an obstacle unless you make one, I guess. So it was really fun. So yesterday, each in our own way, we created our Ganeshas and we fed them to the waters nearby. So that was all very exciting. Another thing that Bob had mentioned about Ganesha was that he has a not very friendly relationship with the moon, because as one of the stories went, the moon was laughing at Ganesha for some reason, maybe because of his massive body and elephant head, and the moon thought that was ridiculous or something. Here I am butchering the story, but I love kind of doing that. Anyway, Ganesha banned the moon from existence. And then the population of people, they pleaded with Ganesha to please let the moon back, because you know, there were robbers at night and nobody could see anything at night, and it was becoming a disaster. So Ganesha blessed us all by having the moon return, but the moon was sort of on probation for the rest of its existence. So it's allowed to come twice a month, and it has to wax and wane accordingly. So there we have it. Now, Bob, do you have anything to correct? Hello, Sandra.
No, that was beautiful,
Leslie.
Sandra, did you ever meet Bob Gilbo?
I don't think so. It doesn't look like a familiar face, but I'm sorry. I'm glad to meet him now.
So in honor of the fact that Ganesha, we've said goodbye to him, I thought we might bring back, not right away, but we'll bring back O Shaddaya, which is praise of the moon, because I thought it would not be offensive anymore. I stayed away from it. Hello, Colleen.
Hi there.
Good. So let's see. A nice invocation this morning. Colleen, hi. Did you ever meet Bob Gilbo? And there's also, and Dana is new. And let's see.
Bob. Hi, Dana.
Hi.
And Lisa, you probably met. Who's High Rose 12? What's that?
That's Colleen, I think.
Oh,
Oh, you're on mute, Colleen. Oops.
Okay. Hi, Sandra.
Hi, Colleen.
How are you?
Everything got muted somehow.
I can hear you. I mean, I can
I have this book now.
Oh, wonderful. Oh, great. Okay. You know what? To start out, I'd like to hear everyone's Om. So I'll start, and then Patty, and then according to my strip of photographs, I've got myself, and then Patty, then Lisa, then Bob, then Sandra, then Dana, and then Rebecca, then Elizabeth, and then Hi Rose, who's really Colleen. So each in turn, I think we can stay unmuted, but let's each contribute an Om to the group. I'll start. Om. Patty? Bob? Beautiful. Lisa? Dana? Rebecca? Dana? Colleen? I think you're muted, Colleen. I still couldn't hear you.
Yeah, I'm not
Let
sure.
me try turning it up.
We
Okay.
can hear you now, but it's like
Yeah,
the
can hear you
it's not
now.
registering.
Want me to do again?
Yes, please. That's interesting. That was a beautifully quiet Om that I couldn't hear, but it's interesting I could hear you
I
talk.
couldn't either.
Yeah, I don't.
Well, let's wait. Elizabeth, please chant Om. Thank you. Did anyone not get a chance to chant Om? Okay. So, and Colleen, I'm not sure what happened. We could hear you talk, but then I couldn't hear you chant Om. Maybe it was
What
just
to
so
tell you.
different. Oh, oh well. A voice. I think without further ado, let's go to the Bhagavad Gita verses that I made for today. Chapter 2, verses 47 and 48. And I have to confess, I probably picked them because I know that Bob enjoys them. But But they're nice verses. They're nice, they're beautiful verses, and they remind us about the perspective, the point of view on doing actions and doing our work. It's nice to have rewards, but if we can find our way to getting the satisfaction of just doing the work itself, we are presumed to be happier in the end, I assume. So does everybody have Bhagavad Gita chapter 2, 47 and 48?
No, I've been out and about all day, so if you don't have it in this book, I don't have it.
Okay, it's not in the book.
I'll just listen. I'm not home. I'm up in my vacation home, so I don't have the Bhagavad Gita here.
Oh, okay.
Only Yoga Sutra.
All right, and it is in a handout, so eventually you can get it as soon as you can download it. But there's a lot to be said for simply listening and not reading anything. So I'll begin with the translation, and I happen to be getting this out of Radha Krishnan's book, and his translation for 247 is, "To action alone hast thou a right, and never at all to its fruits. Let not the fruits of action be thy motive, neither let there be in thee any attachment to inaction." So here's how it can sound. Karmanyevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phala hetur bhur ma te sangostva karmani karmanyevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phala hetur bhur ma te sangostva karmani. So now, everyone mute yourselves and we'll go through this line by line. Call and response. I'll chant the first line and then I'll repeat it softly so you can chant it. And it was called to my attention that one of the benefits of Zoom, since we don't have each other to hear and we can't chant in a group, but a benefit is that we get to sit with our own vibration. So there's a lot that can be said for just being with ourselves, each one of us, as we repeat the line and then the verse. So here goes. I'll chant an Om first. Om. Karmanyevadhikaraste Karmanyevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma phaleshu kadachana. Now I'll put those two lines together. Om. Karmanyevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana Karmanyevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. Moving on to the third line. Ma karma phala hetur bhur. Ma karma phala hetur bhur. Ma te sango Ma te sangostva karmani. Ma te sangostva karmani. Now those last two lines. Ma karma phala hetur bhur. Ma te sangostva karmani. Ma karma phala hetur bhur. Ma te sangostva karmani. Unmute yourselves and give me some feedback. Were you able to hear yourselves and feel your own vibration?
Mhm.
And did it sound like Sanskrit?
Sometimes.
Sometimes counts.
Leslie, what
Yes.
is the mark that with the ma's that give you the, because that's in such a different note. How do you get to that note?
Oh, you know, for anything other than Vedic chants, I do not put the chant marks in, which means we can make up any melody we want as long as the right pronunciation is there. So the long ahs in ma, they're telling us that ma means never. That's all it is. And I chose a melody where it might come up and down. But if you chant it back in a different way, melodically, that's absolutely fine. And that makes a huge difference between chanting something like the Bhagavad Gita and chanting something from the Vedic chant repertoire. Because in Vedic chant, you're supposed to follow the teacher to every sound.
But
So
I
that's it.
understood the,
Go
I was
ahead.
just going to say the melody was very familiar, with the exception of that ma
Oh,
to
okay.
me. And I was just curious. I liked it in there, but I wouldn't have, if you hadn't been leading, I wouldn't have been able to go there. I'll put it that way.
Okay.
Maybe nobody else had that
No,
problem.
I think she's saying that she's having trouble making that jump from the original Om to where's my first note. Is that what you're asking, Sandra?
Mm,
No.
not quite, no.
Okay, never mind then.
To that point though, Rebecca, I chose to chant Om just to sort of, you know, when you chant Om, it serves a lot of purposes, doesn't it? It centers us, it gets us grounded, it makes us light. But then it also can find a pitch. Om, I think I started on the same note as Om. That's just what I did. I could have done something differently, this not being a Vedic chant. Was the chanting I did, was there inconsistencies? Like when you heard a phrase repeated, did I do it differently melodically? Okay,
No.
that's good. So,
No.
you know, there's probably a little bit of difference. There's that this melody is often employed, but maybe there are some differences sometimes with the first syllable in a line. Let me just chant it again. Karmanyevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. So what I did was da 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 da, and then ma karma phala hetur bhur ma te sangostva karmani da 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 da. So maybe maybe the going down in pitch on the second and fourth lines was a surprise. Do you suppose that might
Yes.
have been possible?
Yeah.
Okay. But it doesn't
That was
have to
it.
be that way.
But I liked it.
Oh, good. I'm glad you liked it. We need to chant what we need to like what we chant. Well, we don't have to like what we chant. And what I found is that in difficult verses in Vedic chanting, sometimes I disliked them, but after a while they grew on me and I grew to love them. Anyway, shall we chant all? Are you ready to just go through all 4 lines? We'll chant it through twice. And then if you'd like, each one of you can get a chance to either chant the whole verse or just a line or 2. Does that sound good? Are we ready to do that? Okay. Om Karmanye, I beg your pardon. Om Karmanyevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phala hetur bhur ma te sangostva karmani karmanyevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phala hetur bhur ma te sangostva karmani. Was that a good tempo for everyone? Please unmute yourselves.
Yep.
Okay, who would like to chant this? And you get to chant all 4 lines, or only 1 line, or 2 lines, or any line of your choosing. It doesn't even have to be in order.
I'll
Patty,
try.
would you like to start?
Yes, I'll try.
Okay. What do you know what you're gonna do?
I'll just try to do the whole thing, but you might lose me on the 3rd line.
Okay, go for it.
Om Karmanyevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phala hetur bhur ma te sangostva karmani.
Brava. Very well done.
Sacrificial
Well done.
lamb.
Just one or just a point or 2. When you come to compound consonants, we get to take our time and not rush. So if, for example, that 3rd line, ma karma phala, so it's almost like a roller coaster again. Ma karma phala. So ma karma phala hetur bhur. And the letters E and O, even though they don't have a long dash over them, they are always long. So mute yourselves and let's just do the 3rd and the 4th lines together. Here we go. Ma karma phala hetur bhur ma te sangostva karmani And you notice we had the RM in the last word as well. So in the third line, ma karma, and then in the very end, akarmani, same idea. Even though they're short vowels, we give it a little time because of that compound consonant.
So you're saying the ARMs, you're giving that A, even though it's a short A, you're giving it extra time because of the RM that follows? Is that what you mean?
I'm just ma karma. Well, let's see. Stvakarmani, stvakarmani, irma. I'm almost putting more time on the R preceding the Ma karma hetur and stvakarmani, stvakarmani. There's just, we don't want to rush through those compound consonants. We want to give them their due. But that was all in all beautiful. Your voice is so lovely.
Thank you.
Okay.
You taught me everything I know.
That's scary. Who would like to go now? Well, how about Sandra? Would you care to do something?
On. I'm having difficulty with the fourth line, the Svar,
Okay.
the Stvakarmani.
Yes. Stva. So it's stva. 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 Oh yeah, it's one of those. Yeah, one of those things. It's just think of doing vinyasa with the tongue. Stvakarmani. Stva.
Stvakarmani.
Stva. And we have it. Stva. It's like the word tvam. Tvam. You. But here, the stva, the STV, that word, the apostrophe is always taking the place of the letter A. That little word there, just following the apostrophe, that word originally is astu. So everyone say astu.
Astu.
Astu. But if an astu, because of rules of pronunciation, following sango, the is taken away. So we go mate sangostu. And the reason why the U changes to a V is because if we went, everyone repeat after me. Astu akarmani. 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 Astu. It might eventually lead us to going astvar karmani. Astvakarmani. Astua can change, goes naturally to astva. And so the astu means may it be. And that line really means never may you be attached to your actions. May you not be attached to your actions. So instead of astu akarmani, which is it goes back to one of the reasons why we chant. We chant for yoga chitta vritti nirodha. That's why we chant, to still the mind, to get us ready for meditation, to calm us down and to lift us out of depression. If we kept with astu akarmani and we repeated that, that would produce agitation. So now astvakarmani, even though it might be difficult and the difficulty may in you and all of us, Sandra, may produce anxiety and agitation. When we get used to it, the agitation will fall away and we just get Svakarmani.
Okay.
I think I spoke too long, but there we go. My apologies. Okay, who else would like to Okay, so now, Sandra, that said,
That
wanna chant?
said, I guess I'll try. Om Karmanyevadikaraste Ma Paleshu Kadachana Ma Karma Phala Hetur Bhur Ma Te Sango Stukarmani Stvarkarmani.
Yeah, it's coming. It's coming. That was good. Simply on the last line also for te, ma te sango. In other words, you can slow it down because it's in ma, instead of ma te sang, ma te sango stva karmani. But
Okay,
nice.
thank you.
There's flow coming, Sandra. Elizabeth, would you like to chant for us?
Oh, it helps if I unmute. Om Karmanyevadikaraste Ma Paleshu Kadachana Ma Karma Palahetur Ma Karma Palahetur. I think I'm stuck on that line.
That one's a tough one because of the pa and the bhur. That's those aspirated sounds. So let's do it slowly. Ma karma pala he tur bhur. And for our intents and purposes, we can take a breath anywhere. Okay, try it again.
Ma karma palahetur bhur ma te sangostva karmani.
You got it. You got it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah, you're welcome. Always, whenever there's a place that trips us up, simply slow down and see what happens. Lisa, would you like to try your hand or your tongue at this?
Yeah, I'll try. Om Karmane Vadikaraste Ma Palasu Kadashana Ma Kama Pala Heturbur Ma Te Sangos Fakamani.
You got the stvakarmani. Bravo. That was great. Let's see what else.
I couldn't quite get my melody in the first line.
Okay. So I'll just chant it again and then you repeat after me. Karmani. Sorry. Karmanyevadhikaraste.
Kamanye. Yeah, that's where I get stuck. Kamanyevadi. It's between the karmani and then the next bit. Can you do that again? Just those first two words, the first two bits.
Yeah. Oh. Karmanyevadhikarmani. Sorry, karaste. I wasn't.
So it's Kamanyevadhikaraste.
Pronunciation was excellent. Yeah. Your melody is different from mine, and that's fine for now. But eventually, it's nice to be able to imitate the melody as well. But I'm more concerned with the pronunciation, and it was all there.
Okay.
Very nice.
Thanks.
Yeah, thank you. Let's see.
Okay, I'll try.
Okay.
Om Karmanyeva Dhikaraste Ma Paleshu Kadachana Ma Karma Palahetur Bhur Ma Te Sangostva Karmani.
Really beautiful, Rebecca. But it's interesting, you too, everybody likes to rush through the te in the last line. It's so interesting. But that was lovely. You know, I don't
So-
want to take that away from you. That was really nice.
Mate Sangostva Karmani. More like
Yes.
that? Okay.
Yes. Da 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 da.
Okay.
Mate sangostva karmani. Let's see, who else would like to do this? Dana, would you like to try? Where are you? Bob, would you like to try?
I can try.
Okay, Dana, let's hear it.
I don't know how I'll go, but here we go. Om Karmanyeva Dhikaraste Ma Palesu Kadachana Ma Karmala Hetur Ma Te Sango Satakarmani.
Really well done. Well done indeed.
Thank you. Can I ask you about the N with the thingy down the bottom? Is it like a ñ sound?
Let's see, there is no
There's
nya. There's a nya in the next verse.
Okay.
Sorry.
So the N with the little thing down on the bottom.
With the dot underneath?
Yes.
Yeah,
I don't know what it's called.
The N with the dot underneath is telling the tongue to go to position 3. So in Sanskrit, as many of you have heard this before, there are 5 mouth positions. And it's important to learn those mouth positions at some point. The first position is the throat. And so a sound from the throat would be something like ka or ga. Ka, ga, gung, gung, ga, And the nasal sound would be as in saying gung, ga, ga, or unga. That's in the first mouth position. And when we want that sound, then we would write an N with the dot over the N. That tells the tongue. So we have to translate what these marks mean. And when the dot's over the N, it's telling us to make the sound from the throat. Now, when the dot is underneath the N, that's a third mouth position sound, which is at the top of the palate.
Yeah.
So to find, that's the hardest one for us Westerners to find. So to
Why I ask is I speak Latvian, and there's like a ñ sound for an N with a thing down the bottom, and I don't know if it's the same sound.
No, that would be the ñ sound. Everybody take a look at the next verse, and in the second line at the end, do you see in parentheses, I put the other way of pronouncing Dhananjaya. That's a ñ. We put a tilde over the N. That would make it a ñ.
Right.
However,
so this one here is, how is that pronounced? Yeah.
It's a ñ. So you can only use the tip of your tongue touching the palate. So if everyone, find that place by placing the tongue at your teeth, and then scrub your gums with the tongue up the ridge of your mouth, And where that vertical ridge begins to go back, right around there, there's a little pocket right there. Say, mm, and then to release the tongue down, come up with a sound like na, na, na. It's the tip of the tongue making contact with the roof of the mouth. But it's not a nya sound. That comes,
Okay.
that's the second mouth position.
Thank you.
You're welcome. But that was
And I'll just let you know, I'll probably have to leave in about 10, 15 minutes to
Okay.
get children to school.
Okay, and Dana, just because other people did this too in the second line, ma pale shu. So the dot under the S is telling us to make an SH sound.
Yes.
Ma pale shu. Shu.
Ma
So it's
pale
not
shu.
su.
Yes. Pale shu.
Okay. Thank you, Dana. That was nice. That was very nice. Let's see. Who does anybody not? Bob, would you like to chant for us? It'd be nice to have a masculine voice.
All right, I'll give it a try. Om Karmanyeva dhikaraste ma paleshu kadachana ma karma phala heturbhur ma te sangostva karmani. Lost the melody a little bit, but
Yes, but you found another one, which is fine. Just remember all the ma's are long. That was quite lovely. Isn't it nice to have a man's resonant voice in our group? It was calming for me. It was very nice. Karmanyevadhikaraste ma paleshu. Yeah, there just is a tendency to rush through some of them, but that was beautiful. Other than that, Colleen, do you have any recollection of any of this through your hearing? Would you like to chant anything?
A couple, can you hear me?
Yes.
Give me a couple of classes before I start chanting.
Okay. Is there anyone else who I missed?
Also, I have to go about in a couple of minutes too, because I have a class to
Right,
teach.
because you have to chant. Okay, I mean you have to teach. Okay, it's really nice to see you all. Well, I think we've sort of belabored this. I'd like to go on to the next verse, and then regardless of how we are with it, I'd like us to chant through both of them. So can we move? Let's move on to the next verse because they are one after the other, and it would be nice to just get the rhythm of the two verses together. First, the translation. Fixed in yoga, do thy work, O winner of wealth. Winner of wealth is Arjuna. Abandoning attachment with an even mind in success and failure, meaning whether we succeed or whether we fail, lose or win, the same. For evenness of mind is called yoga. So that sounds like this. Om Yogastaha Kuru Karmani Sangantyatva Dhananjaya Siddhya Siddhyoho Samo Bhutva Samatvan Yoga Uchyate. I'll break that down. Yogastaha Kuru Karmani. Yogastaha Kuru Karmani. Sangantyak Dhananjaya Sangantyatva Dhananjaya. Now let's put those two together. Yogastaha Kuru Karmani Sangan tyaktva dhananjaya. Moving on. Siddhya siddhyoho samo bhutva. Siddhya siddhyoho samo bhutva. Samatvam yoga uchyate. Samatvam yoga uchyate. And since that's the whole theme, really, let's repeat the very last line 3 times before we put everything together. Samatvam yoga uchyate. Samatvam yoga uchyate. Samatvam yoga uchyate.
Leslie, in that,
Yes.
that last line, samatvam, that anusvara becomes a Y sound? Yes or no?
Yeah, I was going to address that.
Okay.
If this were a Vedic chant, the answer would be yes. Did you all notice that I didn't close my lips? Now you can do that. I was doing it differently. So it can also be samatvam yoga uchyate. So let's do it that way 3 times. Samatvam yoga uchyate. Samatvam yoga uchyate. Samatvam yoga uchyate. Now, the reason why in Vedic chanting we would not be allowed to do that is for economization of the action of the tongue. It takes too much changing around to go from samatvam to yo, 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 yo. There's a change with the tongue. However, some of us, including myself, find the second way we just did it more pleasurable because we can feel the vibration at the lips. And what we're learning in chanting is that when we chant a nasal sound at the lips, the entire head becomes the fullest chamber of resonance that we have. And that's often most pleasurable. So we can do that. I propose that we chant this second verse once together and then put the 2 verses together. Would that be all right? Okay. One more time with the 248. Om Yogastha Kuru Karmani Sangam Tyaktva Dhananjaya Siddhya Siddhyoho Samo Bhutva Samatvam yoga uchyate. Let's do it again. Yogastha kuru karmani sangam tyaktva dhananjaya siddhya siddhyoho samo bhutva samatvam yoga uchyate. Now let's put together verses 247 and 248. Om Karmanye vadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phala heturbhur ma te sangostva karmani Yogasthaha kuru karmani sangantyakva dhanam jaya siddhya siddhyoho samo bhutva samatvam yoga uchyate. One more time. Karmanye vadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phala heturbhur ma te sangostva karmani Yogasthaha kuru karmani sangantyakva dhananjaya siddhya siddhyoho samo bhutva samatvam yoga uchyate. And then the last line. Samatvam yoga uchyate. Unmute yourselves and tell me how you're feeling about this. Feelings, what I have are feelings.
It increases in difficulty as you go along. I'll say that much.
Yeah. I did not intend for that, but yes, that second verse is a mouthful. It really is. If you can find a way to just appreciate, if not yet enjoy, we hope enjoyment comes. But for example, that second line in the second verse, starting with Sangam, it's very nasally and breathy. Sangantyakva. Now, you can keep it Sangam at the lips, but I would recommend that you change that M to an N so that the N is already at the teeth where the T. So Tyaktva. The T of Tyaktva begins at the teeth. So Sangantyakva
Dhanam, dhanam.
Dhananjaya Sangantyakva Dhananjaya. It's an amazing line because for nasals. If we transfer, if we, for example, make that Sangam a Sangan, then what we get is Sangam, the first mouth position for Ngam, followed by the dental Sangan, then Dhananjaya. If we do that Dhananjaya, as it's presented in the parentheses, it's just position 2. So we go from Sangantyakva Dhananjaya. And then Tyaktva gives us a break from all that nasal stuff and all those aspirated sounds.
Tyaktva. Tyaktva.
So repeat after me this word. Dhanam.
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 Tanam.
Now, change the M to an N, the N with the tilde over it. So it's Dhananja. So say Dhananja. Dhananja. And now that whole word, which means Dhanam, meaning wealth, Jaya, conqueror of wealth, Dhanam Jaya. Say it with the lips, with Dhanam ending at the lips. Dhanam Jaya. Dhanam Jaya. Dhanam Jaya. Now let's make a change, and the change is Dhananjaya. So that nya is with the fat part of the tongue moving up to the soft palate. So it's right ready for the ja. Ja. So everyone say another word. Patanjali. Patanjali. We're all familiar with Patanjali. Say that twice. Patanjali, Patanjali. Now say Dhananjaya. So it's the same. Dhananjaya. Dhananjaya. Were you able to get that same feeling in the mouth, the tongue doing the same thing? Sameness with Patanjali as in Dhananjaya. Bye, whoever's leaving. So if we slow it down, maybe enjoyment will come, whoever's left. So we'll do it more slowly, just that full line. So we've got the gum, and then tyaktva, sounds more crisp and awake. And then dhananjaya. It's almost like these nasal sounds calm us down. Maybe they almost lure us into a sleepiness. They could. But then tyaktva is tyaktva, it's crisp. So let's just see if we can explore just the feelings that these sounds can evoke when we make them. Actually, we're going to do it word for word. Repeat after me. Sangam. Now I'm going to make that change when I add the second word. Sangantiyaktva. Everyone say that. Sangantiyaktva. And then Dhananjaya. Dhananjaya. How are you doing? So then slowly, Sangantiyaktva Dhananjaya. Sangantiyaktva Dhananjaya. Sangantiyaktva Dhananjaya. Are we gravitating to love or to hate or indifference?
I think that by abandoning attachment with an even-minded success and failure, then we can chant the verses.
Amen. Any other comments? Unmute yourselves.
Well, I mean, just Leslie, just there's an onomatopoetic quality to a lot of these words. Tyaktva is a very sharp word, and actually Krishna is nudging his friend in the ribs. He's saying, hey, you who have everything, abandon everything, conqueror of wealth. You've got it all, and now you've got to learn to be a tyagi. Tyaktva. It's a sharp word for it's a nudge in the ribs.
Thank you. That's wonderful. What a blessing you are here. That, yeah, is it coming together for everyone? Yeah, it's a mouthful. Tyaktva, I've always liked that, having abandoned, right? Is that what that means? Tyaktva?
Yes, Krishna is urging us to be joggies, to be renunciates
Renunciate.
of sensual enjoyments.
Yeah. Act in the world. So it's a lot to ask of our tongue today, but you know, the tongue working on this can certainly be seen as a metaphor. It's just like we're taught by our teachers for asana, that asana is often a metaphor for real life. You know, how do I deal with this difficult asana? You know, what is it I have to do to get through this and to not come out of the pose before I'm supposed to, or, you know, or what am I to do instead of avoiding this? Shall we just chant it through? Is it beneficial to do both verses together?
Yeah,
Or, yeah,
I thought so.
Sure.
okay. Is everybody in agreement?
Mhm.
Here we go. Okay. Om Karmanyevadhikaraste Ma Phaleshu Kadachana Ma Karma Phalahetur Bhur Ma Te Sangostva Karmani Yogastaha Kuru Karmani Sangantyakva Dhananjaya Siddhya Siddhyoho Samo Bhutva Samatvan Yoga Uchyate Samatvam Yoga Uchyate. I find it occurred to me that that word samatvam, speaking of onomatopoeia, sorry. Anyway, speaking of that, samatvam, samatvam, if you were just to repeat that, that produces a calmness for me, samatvam, and it means evenness. Inner poise, according to Radha Krishna, as I put in your handout. Samatvam, inner poise. It is self-mastery. It is conquest of anger, sensitiveness, pride, and ambition. And the yoga sthaha is being steadfast in maintaining samatvam. But it is interesting how many of these words, if we just utter them, we might get into that state of mind that word means. Samatvam, samatvam, samatvam. Can we move on to something different? Or would anyone like to chant all two verses together? Let's, I'd like, really, because Bob is new and Dana, I think, left us because she had to take her children to school. What a blessing to have to take your children to school these days, really? I mean, my goodness.
Yes, and I'm sorry, I have to leave now as well, but so beautiful to chant with all of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you for gracing us with your beautiful, beautiful voice.
We'll see you next week. Bye.
Okay. Okay. So Laghunyasa. And maybe some of you know by heart the refrain. So the refrain goes, while everybody's getting their papers, Om Hridayam Mayi Aham Amrite Amritam Brahmani Hridayam Mayi Aham Amrite Amritam Brahmani. Who would like to chant that for us?
I'll do
Patty. Okay.
it. Starting with Om?
Mhm.
Yes?
Yeah. Your choice. But
All right. Om Hridayam Mayi Aham Amrite Amritam Brahmani.
thank you. Lovely. Let's all chant it together again and somebody else go. So here we go. Om Hridayam Mayi Aham Amrite Amritam Brahmani. So somebody else. Sandra, would you like to?
This became an earworm, so I was cursing you slightly.
Oh, an
I couldn't
earworm.
get, yeah, I couldn't
That's
get
okay.
rid of it.
An earworm. Oh, I know. I never knew what that was. You were cursing me? It's okay. When I'm in asana class, I curse my teachers all the time. Don't tell Mary, Bob.
Hridayamayi aham amrite amritam brahmani.
The earworm worked. It was beautiful. I would just say, you don't have to rush through the end. Amritam Brahmani. It's as though this chant were asking us to savor the and the rrr. I mean, it almost you can almost taste the amritam, which is the nectar.
Right.
Amritam Brahmani. Let's all chant just that very slowly and linger on the and the rrr and the linger on it. Okay, let's indulge. Here we go, starting with Amritam. Amritam Brahmani. Amritam
Amritam
Brahmani. That's it. Savor it.
Amritam Brahmani.
That sounds lovely. You were still unmuted, Sandra, and you sounded great.
Oh,
Brahmani. But I'm glad you did that, Sandra, because the Brahmani, there is a mark, the chant mark over the final letter A for Brahmani, but it is short. So instead of Brahmani, it is Brahmani, da da dum, like that. Elizabeth, would you kindly chant for us?
Hridayam Mayi Aham Amrite Amritam Brahmani.
Lovely. Thank you. Lisa.
Hridayam Mai Aham Amrite Amritam Brahmani.
Prabhupada, your melody improved greatly. There was more of the right melody. Wonderful.
Thanks.
Yeah. Repeat after me, everyone. Hridayam, Hridayam. And then to move on, starting at the beginning, Hridayam Mayi. Let's repeat that. Hridayam Mayi. Then Aham Amrite Amritam Brahmani. But that was great, Lisa. Wonderful. Bob, would you like to have a go?
Sure. Two quick questions. So the second word, the svara marking over the final A. So sometimes I hear that as aham amrite. So it kind of goes to an E on the second note of the swara.
The diphthong. I do it that way, but then Elizabeth and I have been studying a great deal with Sonia Nelson and Deborah Kurian, in Desikachars. And what I got from you, Elizabeth, and from when we went back to hearing Desikachar on a CD that we have, he wasn't going te. Is that right, Elizabeth? It was more te. Unmute yourself.
Not quite so pronounced.
Okay. So, aham amrite. Maybe something in between.
Okay.
It's not so easy.
And the final word, I'm hearing brahmani, almost as if you're putting the ha sound before the ani. Is it that, or is it brahmani?
No, good, great, excellent question. In Vedic chanting, we learn to put those whenever Brahman is chanted, the H and the M are reversed. So it's Brahmani, just because it chants better. And that's consistent in all of Vedic chanting. Brahmananda. It's always like that, at least in the lineage that we're in.
Okay, thank you. Shall I give it a go?
Sure. Give it a go.
Hridayam Mayi Aham Amrite Amritam Brahmani.
Bravo. First time out. Excellent. Let's see, who hasn't, has everybody gone? Is that, we're back to just screen on one page. Okay, so. Who remembers the first one, or how to chant the first one? Or would you like to hear it once? Perhaps Elizabeth. Elizabeth, would you do it and we'll respond, we'll do call and respond, and you can chant Agnir May.
Okay. And also the refrain?
Sure.
Okay. Om Agnir Me Vaci Shritaha Vaci Shritaha Vaghridaye Hridaye Hridayam Mayi Hridayam Mayi Aham Amrite Aham Amrite Amritam Brahmani Amritam Brahmani.
Thank you. So again, so to have that go a little bit faster, it sounds like this. Agnir me vachi shritaha Vaghridaye Hridayamayi Aham Amrite Amritam Brahmani. Patty, would you like to lead us in the next one? The one with the wind and the Vayur and the Prana?
I would love to. Should I do it like Elizabeth did it with like a call and response situation going on, or just go do the whole thing?
Just go do the whole thing.
Okay. Om Vayurme Prane Shritaha Prano Hridaye Hridayam Mayi Aham Amrite Amritam Brahmani.
Beautiful. Do you want to go on and do the Surya or Sandra? Thank you very much, Patty. That was nice. Sandra, would you like to chant to the sun?
I'll give it a
Suryo me.
go. Suryo me chakshushi sritaha chakshur hridaye hridayamayi aham amrite amritam brahmani.
You've got a beautiful rhythm going. As this is a Vedic chant, I have to be a stickler on the melody. So listen again, everybody.
I know, I missed it. I forgot it.
Okay, and so hopefully the chant marks will help you. So I'll just do it one more time. Okay, I'll start with Om, and Om gives us the middle note. Om Suryo me chakshushi shritaha chakshur hridaye. Sandra, you want to do just that much? Do the Suryo again. Start with Om. So Om sets you on the right, on the middle note.
Sandra, you're muted. I'm sorry.
Thanks, Patty.
Om Suryo me
Start again.
chakshushi. I've
Sandra.
lost it.
Yeah. Sur is on the same note as Om.
Oh, okay.
Om
Om
Suryo
me chakshushi
Okay, so
me suryo
me goes down a little bit more. Suryo me.
Suryo me chakshushi shritaha
Yes.
chakshur
You have the note.
hridaye.
The notes were in reverse. Chakshur So
Chakshur Hridaye.
yes, Hridaye was right. So from Shritaha, Shritaha Chakshur Hridaye. Try that.
Sritaha Chakshur. Nope, I lost it.
Try it again.
Sritaha Chakshur Hridaye.
You got it. Good for you. Would you like to do that one more time?
I don't think I can do it.
Okay, let's.
Om Suryo Me Chakshushi Sritaha Chakshur Hridaye. It's not
Yes,
right.
that was better. Elizabeth, that was better, right?
She's not so sure.
Maybe she had to go. I don't see her.
No, she's laughing.
Oh, she's like,
She wouldn't give me a pass.
we just have to apply abhyasa and vairagya. You know, when we've had enough, we've had enough. But I'm noticing a change from the first time you ever learned this. So anyway, so for Bob, since you're new at this, this is something that we learned early on in our chant. Well, we meaning Elizabeth and I in our chant group in Santa Fe. It was one of the first things that we learned in the chant, in the Vedic chant intensive. And it's just, once we get it, it's really lovely. But every week now I hesitate because I don't want people to be miserable. So I call upon all of you to let me know when you'd like to have a break from this, but it really does chant nicely when we get the hang of it. It just takes a while. Go ahead and unmute yourselves. I'm lonely.
Leslie, I think that if we don't do it every week, it's just harder again when you come back to it.
Oh,
I
if
think
we
it's
don't do it
nice,
every week.
even if it's just for a short time, just to go over it again every week so that it starts to stick. It is for me anyway.
That's a good idea. And I just have to take care not to belabor it. Just, when we've had enough, we've had enough. Yeah. But certainly the refrain, the Hridayam Mayi, is just so nice.
Well, because we drilled that last week.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the way we have to do it. Just one line over and over.
Maybe so. Yes, probably. Or pick a favorite element and just work on that one. I think we've done enough for today. Kayena Vaca. I don't know if you have that. It's in the Bob, I have to say, I've made so many handouts and I'm unorganized about it. Patty, bless her heart, she where's Patty? I don't see you. Did she leave us?
I'm here.
Oh, hi. I have to go to the gallery view. There, okay. Now I see everybody. Okay. Almost everybody. If you have a copy of Kayena Vaca, it's also in the chant book.
Okay.
And so if you have this handy.
What page in the chant book?
Kayena Vaca, let's see. On page 97. So here's a tune for it. Does everybody? And if you don't have it in front of you, you get to listen and learn, from mouth to ear. Kayena Vaca Manasendriyairva Buddhyatmana Va Prakrite Swabhavat Karomi Yadyat Sakalam Parasmai Narayana Yeti Samarpayami. And then what I don't have in the book, Sarvam Shri Krishnarpanamastu. Should we just do that again or do it? Okay, we're going to do it twice through. Okay, here we go. And the first time with my voice and the second time with Elizabeth's voice. Okay? Okay. Here we go. Kayena Vaca Manasendriyairva Buddhyatmana Va Prakrite Swabhavat Karomi Yadyat Sakalam Parasmai Narayana Yeti Samarpayami. Sarvam Shri Krishnarpanamastu. Now we get to do it with Elizabeth.
Kayena Vaca Manasendriyairva Buddhyatmana Va Prakrite Swabhava Karomi Yadyat Sakalam Parasmai Narayanayi Samarpayami. Sarvam Shri Krishnarpanamastu. You're muted.
Yeah, there we go. I'd like to hear everyone again. So would you, everybody just chant Om once, each one in turn. Everybody unmute.
I'm afraid I have to leave, Leslie.
Can you chant Om first?
I can. Om.
Thank you. So lovely.
Thank you.
Bye,
Thank
Sandra.
you.
Bye, Sandra.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye, Sandra.
Bye. Bye.
Patty? Who? Anybody? Thank you all, and especially Patty. Thank you so much for hosting
Thank you,
these.
Leslie. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone.
Everyone.
Bye. Thank you
See
for
you
coming,
next
Bob.
week.
So nice to
Oh,
see you.
Bye.
Like
Welcome.
twice in one day. It's such a treat.
I know.
Bye.
All right.
Have
See
a
you next.
lovely.
Namaste.
Yeah. Okay. Have a great day, like Lisa, and a great evening, everybody else.
All right. Thank
Thank
you all.
you. Nice to meet you, Bob.
Nice
Likewise.
meeting you, Bob.
And thank you for your insights.
No. Can't keep my mouth
Yes.
shut.
No, bring
Good.
it on.
You're like me.
Bring it on.
All right. All right. Take care, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Patty, thank you always. And welcome
Thank
home.
you. Thank you very much, Leslie.
Enjoy.
I'll talk to you
Special
soon.
hello to me.
Yeah. Okay. Bye-bye.